There's no secret that I struggle with big streamers making videos. They're kind of like the entitled few, even though there is many, I guess. But there's a video going out about why Diablo 4 is so bad, and it's like 40 minutes long. I've watched it. I've seen a couple different people review on it, or react to it or whatever. And the thing I always struggle with games is the game. So here's 5 things about this game that I don't like. One, I understand they want to have a lot of dungeons, and they have a lot of dungeons, but I don't like going into like the cellars and having it be where there's a group down there and you have to protect them, and then you go to a new cellar, it's the same thing. But I understand they have so many cellars that they have to reuse some of the gameplay mechanics or the mission mechanics. And I know those also sometimes appear in regular dungeons, which I don't really think. I think the cellars should be their own private thing, but that's their decision. Okay. And it's not up to me to bitch about it because I don't like it. I'm going to play through it. I may grumble a little bit about it. The second thing I don't like, the only thing I really, really don't like is the horse movement. And I don't use the horse. I would probably get better with it if I did use it. But when the first time I ever used it, I was like, this is crazy. I can't do it. I was just going to run. The number 3 thing is that when you go from World Tier 2 to World Tier 3, World Tier 3 doesn't get harder. You just get more mobs. So it's the same as that thing where you can get in a fight with somebody, and that's World Tier 2 or 1 or 2. But when you get to World Tier 3, you're just pecked to death by chickens constantly running from one point to the other. You're just got this barrage of mobs to the point where when you kill a bunch of mobs and you're picking up your loot, another mob happened to come in. And it's not a thing I hate. I don't like it. To me, it's not fun. Especially like in the swamp, there's some things. There's some mechanics that I think are overused. You have, so the 4th thing I guess would say overused mechanics with like those, you have I don't know what they are, but the lizard ladies or lizard things in the swamp that throw those little green balls that, throw stuff at you. Those are annoying more than anything else, because if you have 3 of those creatures, they throw 3 of those balls, and they're timed so that they stun lock you, and then as soon as you get out, they stun lock you again, and then they stun lock you again. And that's just that. It does the same thing with frost, and there's all those different things that they're a little on the side of aggravating. The fact that the world kind of scales as you play, and if you play the game to me the way it's intended to play, by doing the story quest line and the side quests all at the same time, then you will scale probably higher than the content you're facing. And I get that, and I'm okay with that. From a casual player, I think that's very rewarding. But I do understand there's a thing where like each area isn't a different difficulty level. Like if once you hit, like I'm 58 right now, the only thing that's going to be a higher level to me is my nightmare dungeons and the strongholds. Everything else is going to be my level. I get that. That's fine. So instead of making each little area a little harder than you, we're just going to throw more mobs at you. So I guess maybe that's probably 4. I don't know. I don't script this stuff. I watched a couple of videos and it aggravated me because I can't stand the people that get on and cry about a game that if you don't like it, don't play it. It's okay to have an opinion, right? And it's okay to say this game is not for me. This is why I don't play it. You know, the way society works, everything is a quick little, you know, if you watch my video and I don't say something you're interested in 20 seconds, you're going to go to the next one. That's evident. We see that all the time. So if you bait people with a title, you know, you're going to get, all right, why is he doesn't like this or whatever, and play it. So, and really, I don't feel like there's nothing to do. And granted, I'm not in a hurry to finish the game. Yes, there is some urgency with season 1 because I want to get all the altars of Lilith found. But if I don't, it's not a big deal. You know, I will focus on the altars I don't have with my other character. You know, I haven't really watched a lot about the seasons. I did finish the campaign so that when the season come out, I could participate. Okay. But just like every other game, you know, so take Division 2. Okay. And if you're big into Diablo, you probably don't even know anything about the Division franchise, the Tom Clancy Division Ubisoft game. And that's fine. But I've been playing that game now ever since the first one came out. I played through the second one. I still play the second one. But the content ended for like a year. The new content that comes out is maybe 2% of the update. So it's like a 2% increase to content that only forces you to replay the content you've already played. So there's not like there's new storyline, but the content doesn't change. The content is the same content. You just now, to do this, you have to do this stronghold, and this mission. Well, you've already done those. You've probably done them millions of times. This game, maybe same way. That's the new game mechanic, you know. But I struggle when I watch videos where people are saying, well, you should have done this. Well, you don't know who the developers made the game for. If I'm a game developer, I'm going to make the game that I want to play. I understand that I want to cater to those that are going to buy the game because that's where I make my money. But the big time streamers are not, I don't want to say they're not what's making this money, making the game money, because obviously they are. If you get 10,000 people watching you play this game, those 10,000 people are probably going to go buy the game. Versus, you know, the people that don't watch any streamers, they just see an ad. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it's so hard to watch people have a tantrum because a game that was developed doesn't do everything they want it to do. And they burn right. It's like right now, the biggest complaint is, oh, I'm in Diablo, there's nothing to do. It's nobody's fault that you blew through the game in a week. Nobody's fault. Except yours. There's stuff to do. Granted, it's repetitive. You know, I mean, the only other complaint, if you can call it a complaint, the number 5, I guess, is that I can't build. I am constantly being pushed to a build that I don't want to run with my druid. So my druid is all based on elements. I wanted to create so any game I've ever played, I've always tried to play the elementalist. Not so much the mage, I guess you can be that, but more like an elementalist. So when I noticed that the druid went with earth skills and stuff like that, I was like, oh, sweet, you know? So that was my goal. Okay. Every piece of gear that drops is werebear, a wolf, even companions, sometimes not as much as the other two. I hardly ever get drops. And granted, this build probably completely sucks. If you're watching this, you're probably like, man, this guy's a noob. Probably does, but you know. But I have lightning and I have earth skill. I don't have any earth skills. I don't have any earth skill damage. I did, but I switched it out for this one. So that one there, you know, but 2 ranks of cyclone, and I get to this one, right? Shred. Can't use it, but the lightning damage aspect of it is what I want. Ranks of hurricane. You know, injured, crowded, unstoppable. And then I got a couple different weapons that I play around that I haven't tried this one yet. Or actually I haven't tried this one yet. But I messed around with these two, you know. My rings are the same way. Earth and Bulwark, lightning, and more lightning. So, and from the looks of this, they don't stack. I thought they did. I guess they don't. But either way, I'm perfectly fine. I can handle the stuff that I'm trying to fight. The aggravating thing with it is every time a new legendary drops or something cool drops, it always leans me towards the werewolf or the werebear and that kind of stuff. And I don't want to do that. I want to do this. So I understand that there's percentages and there's randoms and all that stuff, but it's like I'm having a hard time making the character that I want to make because the stuff's not dropping to where I want it to be. But I'm not going to stop playing the game because of that. This is how I want to play it. If I can't play it the way, you know, I can't play it the way I want to play it, well, then I'll play it the hard way, but I'll still, you know, die on my hill and try to play it that way. But I see, it's so weird to see so many people like hype this game up, play it for 2 weeks, and then start dumping on it. You know, it's like we haven't even hit the season yet, you know, and people burn through it so fast that now the season's coming, you know, and hopefully there'll be some cool stuff. But it's like, I don't know. It really dug into me today, seeing all the videos of all the people that are just like bitching and complaining because Diablo developers didn't give them what they wanted. They made a game. You can play the game or you can not play the game. Yes, you can give your critiques. You can say a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, they made the game. And the fact that there's no bugs in the game. I mean, you know how long it's been since a game has come out where it wasn't completely broken because they rushed it out? I do believe there is some server things with it. I won't deny that. Yes, hardcore characters died. Part of that, I believe, is more server stuff. Even me, like I went and made a comment about how this game, you know, performs great, no rubber banding or anything like that. I had a rainstorm, and granted, I use Starlink satellite, but I am usually never affected by rainstorms or anything, even snow, deep snow, nothing. The thing is freaking awesome. But while streaming, I was having a problem where I was rubber banding, and I can play. So I had a week's vacation. I played every day during the day, but afterwards, when I came back at 9:30 to play in the same weather conditions, it rubber banded. So I bounced out. I launched another game, a battle royale game that you need to be accurate and time sensitive, and I had 0 issues. And then the other night I had rubber banding, and then eventually it subsided. So I don't know if it's because of the popularity of that time frame. I'm not sure. Yes, it aggravates me. You know, if you watched one of my streams, I was in a dungeon. I got extremely pissed off because the dungeon battles were harder than the boss battle at the end. And the only reason why is because I went down a corridor that had 2 frost bosses, elites, 2 frost elites, 2 poison elites, and then 1 elite that was a teleporter. So I spent the entire time in poison and frozen, and I couldn't get a hit in to bring my mana up or whatever so that I could cast a spell to do anything. So I died like instantly. I want a replay camera. I don't just want to look down on the bottom and see, oh, you died because of this. I want to see it, because half the time I'm taking huge shots from somebody that's doing very little damage. And then all of a sudden I take 1 shot from him that just completely freaking kills me. At that time, I was also rubber banding to the point where when I hit my potion, it was almost like my potion button stuck. So they were slapping me around. I couldn't slap them around. And then all of a sudden I went from 12 potions to 3. And I'm like, I only pushed the button once, but it was the rubber banding issue. Well, after I beat the dungeon, I went back and I realized, oh, actually I shouldn't say that. After I beat all that stuff, because I wouldn't give up. I finally beat it all with my weapons, stuff was broken. When I got past it, there was a tome there that I could have clicked on, which would have, you know, I think it's a spike tone or whatever that just implodes around you and kills everybody. So it's like, okay, so I went the wrong way. I should have ran away and then came back and revisited it, but I was too headstrong on I'm going this way. But there's little things that aggravate you and whatever, but I'm still so excited to play this game. This game makes me want to play. And I, granted, I'm only 58, only level 58. I haven't burned through it. I'm enjoying everything. Like I'm talking to every NPC in every city, every town, mostly offline. I don't do that when I'm streaming because that could be, you know, I understand, boring. But it's like every little thing. And I find that really, really cool. And out of all the games that I've played, my character's never had voice lines. Granted, it doesn't have all of them, but it has some, which adds some to it, you know? There's little things where, like, I think one of the guys in the video said, you don't make any connections with anybody. There is some of that. There's a little bit of that in here. None of the characters are memorable, and, you know, there's one, I can't remember her name right now, that I met out in she's out in the swamp, and she's part of a quest line. You know, she pops in, you get to know her and all that stuff. It would be cool if some of those, kind of like a Guild Wars 1, where you had NPC companions that could go with you to team up, and, you know, it'd be kind of neat. But for the most part, the story to me was pretty awesome. And granted, I can't compare it to any of the other Diablos because I've never played Diablo. I never played anything Diablo. This is the first Diablo game I've ever played. It's not the first ARPG that I've ever played, but it's the first one that just felt like I wasn't forcing myself to play. It naturally wants me to play it, or I naturally want to play it. But I don't know. I have another video that I made that I was gonna release today and put that up for tomorrow. And watching this, it's 7 o'clock on a Friday morning on the 14th July. It's a little thought I had before I started my workday, but I just wanted to get it out there because it's like, if you hate on the game, fine. Don't make a video because it doesn't fit you the way it's not the way you want it to be. If it's not your playstyle, then fine, say it's not my playstyle. You can say, this is why I don't like the game. Don't sit there and say it's a bad game, because it's not a bad game. Like I said, I haven't seen a single bug other than a rubber banding. And I don't even know if that's a bug. I think that's probably an overloaded server. But I'm a 100% strongly feel it's not my internet, because I have a meter that shows me how my internet is, and it never dips. My latency is 25 to 30 all the time, and I'm always running, whatever the megabytes per second, all that stuff is solid. So it's never this game. It's never my internet. Let's say that it's the game, something to do with the server side stuff. I'm pretty much sure of that, based on dropping out of this and playing something more intense that requires timing and have no issues. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I watched a couple of videos and it aggravated me, because it's like, I want this game needs to do what I want, and that's bullshit. You need to do what the game wants, and if it's not for you, then it's not for you. It's the whole reason why you have McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. You have choices. Not everybody's going to like all three. I'm a Wendy's guy. If I go to a fast food joint like that, which I very seldomly do, it's going to be Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? Because the other ones just don't do it for me. Same with games. But just because it doesn't give you everything you want, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game, because it might be giving someone else what they want. And it's hard to sit through these videos and watch people bash shit just because they have a platform. I don't have a platform. I play video games because I love playing video games. This is my downtime. This is I don't even want to say it's a hobby. It's just what I do to get away from all the other shit in the world. And when a game brings the world shit into it, I lose interest. But when people use their platform to bash stuff, when they could just say, I tried Diablo IV, wasn't for me. This is why. Not, it's a shitty game and this is why. Because it's not a shitty game. So, anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it. I just watched a couple of videos. I watch people react to the videos, which I'm not a fan of reaction videos. Whatever, I get it. And probably what made it harder was I watched the video, and then I watched I watched a reaction video of the video that I just watched, because I didn't agree with it. But there was somebody with a higher platform than me and the person that made the video, and I was interested to see what they had to say. So, and I was kind of along the same side as that other guy. And then I started watching another guy that I respect. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to watch this video 3 times. It's not worth it to me, because I don't agree with it. I watched it once. I went, yeah, all right. Well, that's how he feels. That's not how I feel. I think it's just, it's what a lot of us casual gamers need in a game. You paid your money and you were able to play the game. It wasn't a game that required you to sit back and wait for a patch because this is broken or that's broken. I go back to it's not like Anthem. You know what I mean? Anthem's a bad game because nobody ever got to experience Anthem because of how bad of a game it was. There's another game I can't think of that me and a buddy bought it. I was never into it. It wasn't my thing, but I bought it anyways. We played it all weekend long, zero issues. I think I stayed up till like 5 in the morning, slept till noon, and got right back into it. And I played it all weekend long. I took Thursday and Friday off from work because I had early access, and I took Monday and Tuesday off for the following week, and I played it. Monday they threw a patch in that broke the freaking game, and I can't play it. Even today, I can't play it. I get disconnected as I'm playing. I'll just all of a sudden get disconnected, then I can't connect back in, and I just gave up on it. I uninstalled it. Just wasn't for me. So that's a broken game. This is not a broken game. This is not a bad game. This is just right. And it may not be just right for the hardcore streamer that's going to move on to the next shiny thing when it comes out, but it's just right for the casuals that just need something to keep them busy and entertained. You know, I go back to Hogwarts Legacy. I've never seen a single Harry Potter movie or watched a single book, but the story and the game had me pretty much all the way through. Did get tired of Merlin trials. I did get tired of going into the cellars, much like these. I got tired of a lot of the little side things that you do. But the overall story and everything, I was entertained, I was hooked. And it's one of my favorite games that I've played in the last probably 5 years. So it's all, I guess, in what you're looking for. You know, I made a video a while back about this game. I had somebody go and, hey, you know what? You convinced me, I'm going to buy it. I don't even know if he watched my whole video. I don't even know if he was just pulling my leg. But even that one person that, even if he didn't buy the game because of me, but he was just trolling me, if he did buy the game because of me, and within a day, he freaking hates it and regrets it, and I find out, I'm gonna feel bad because I convinced somebody to spend whatever, 60, 80 bucks to buy something that they didn't enjoy. That's gonna, that sucks. But I enjoy it. Can't lie about it. I'm gonna play it. So, anyways, if you tuned in, thanks for listening to my soapbox. I stream Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. And I know I'm a little wish-washy and all my different videos say different things. Yes, I have a Twitch page, I have a Kick page, but I just want to do this. So, if you're around on a 10 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, stop in, let's chat. I look forward to it. So anyways, take care, like, subscribe, comment. I love the fact that my first video that I put out on this game got, I think, over 500 views. It's awesome. It doesn't matter if it's one click or if they just watched all the way through. That's great. I freaking love that. And I love the dialogue and the conversation that went on under that video in the comments. So I look forward to that. So like I said, like, subscribe, take care. Be kind. If you're in the Northeast, hopefully you're not flooded or any of your family members are in trouble with, I know, state of Vermont pretty much turned into a lake in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully, they did have one person pass. Hopefully everybody else is safe and people can get back to rebuilding and moving on. All right, take care. Thank you.